What's up, guys? We are the Thralls of Metal, here with the Tommy, Shredlord, Necrotic Nick, and Jammin' John. We are excited to bring you our very first movie review.
Thralls, go to the movies!
Hey! Don't forget to bring the essentials, your popcorn, your snacks, your joints.
Bottle of Jack Daniels,
beer.
methamphetamines.
And any other kind of dirty little things we can get our grubby little paws on.
Pretty much. So naturally, the movie we reviewed is fiercely fucking metal. We got to review Lords of Chaos, which came out last year, and this motherfucker was about as hyped as anyone for this one. Now, for those not familiar, this was based on the book that covered the story of the most infamous black metal band there is, Mayhem. Pretty much the lovely, wonderful life of that entire band for however long they lived.
It was short, but sweet.
Not really
Hey man,
sweet.
they created a genre of fucking metal. What'd you do with your goddamn life?
Poser.
Poser!
Don't forget to call
fucking
people posers.
poser!
Only if you like the Scorpions.
Yeah.
I do like the Scorpions.
You're a poser.
Fuck!
Poser. So anyway, yeah, it was a fucking dark movie.
Very dark movie.
Okay, if you plan to watch this movie, hopefully you're already a fan of the band, or at least black metal, because it's going to be kind of hard to get into and really understand what's all going on there. But also be prepared for insanely graphic violence.
Yes.
Haunting.
I think what the movie did a good job is selling the audience the fact of how brutal and fucked up a lot of these acts that they committed as young adults really, really were, and how they did a good job basically coming across how heinous a lot of this shit really was.
And the setup was really good. Like, I mean, when Dead got his room at their place, as soon as I saw that back wall, I was like, I know that back wall very well.
That scene, yeah.
You know, I had a friend of mine that recently got Dawn of the Blackhearts, an original pressing on vinyl, into her shop, and said it was going for like $1,500 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, seeing that, it was like, wow, okay, that's where all that's going to go down. And then when it did, because spoiler alert, if you know the story of Mayhem, there's some fucked up shit that's going to happen.
Yep.
Possibly the longest suicide scene I have ever seen.
And they showed it.
That was
All
a
of it.
very
The
traumatizing
camera
scene.
did not cut
extremely
away.
graphic.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Like, at any point, I figured they might cut away. You know, like, all right, they don't need to show all that. No, they showed
Everything.
gory detail.
Right.
Yep.
And I mean, I was really like, that was when the movie really shifted for me, because before that I was like, all right, this is kind of a so-so.
Right, they're having fun, they're partying, they're kind of dicks, whatever.
They got real serious.
They got real serious. Real
And like, ugh.
I'll tell you what though, I said this when it happened during the movie, my one huge gripe with that scene is there's never been a suicide note penned quite like the suicide note that Dead wrote. And the fact that they just briefly showed some little fucking handwritten note that had nothing to do with what he actually said.
Yeah.
To apologizing for the mess he made, leaving the lyrics for Freezing Moon, I believe.
And he apologized for firing a gun indoors.
I mean, that's kind of illegal.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a dick for that, but at least he apologized, man.
And you're right. They didn't show the note. They showed little like snippets of it, like little camera cuts. You'd get like words, but nothing that made any sense. Like,
but I was totally
because you know what the note says. If you follow the history, you know exactly what the note said. And I was hoping they'd show the note.
I'm sorry, it's Life Eternal. It was bugging me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, like, you're kind of taken away from the fact that he's writing anything, because he's writing this while has a slit throat and is bleeding.
Slit arms.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
But yeah, that was when the movie started shifting for me. I was like, okay, I knew this was going to happen, but how they portrayed it, I'm really interested. And also,
shit got real.
Props to is it Jack Kilmer? It's Val Kilmer's son that played Dead, and he did a really good job.
He did a damn good job.
Yep.
And he looked so much like his dad, it was kind of creepy.
It was.
Like right down to the smile.
What about the guy who played Euronymous? I mean,
Rory Culkin?
Yeah, Rory
looks just like Macaulay.
Yep.
It's creepy.
Blackened Culkin.
Oddly enough, though, it was a good fit.
Yeah.
It was a good fit for the part. He did a really good acting job.
There were parts I thought he was a little flat, but there were moments where I was like, wow, he's really owning this role. I would gripe that there weren't enough Norwegian accents. Like, they all kind of played a kind of just a flat accent with like a little fleck of something
Yeah, there was a
European.
little like twinge of something foreign, but it was all English.
Yeah.
Like English diction, like,
Yeah.
hey.
Like kind of like the flat Midwestern accent, which you're probably used to right now. Other than that, it really just kind of painted an interesting picture of that scene in the early 90s and late 80s. And the guy that played Faust, too, who was the former drummer of Emperor, but was also, I think, Stellan Skarsgård's other kid that also acts. So the brother of the guy that plays Pennywise was Faust. And his scene was pretty damn graphic, too.
Yeah, it was.
You're not familiar with that? He stabbed a man in the park for coming on to him.
Like 35 times or something.
Yeah.
And they showed each and every one of those
Each
stabs.
and every stab. And when he got up to try to get away, he stabbed him some more and then sat on top of him and just continued stabbing. This movie had a lot of stabbing.
There was a lot of
fire,
stabbing.
A lot of fire.
a lot of knives, a lot of knives and a lot of fire.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
Knives and fire. That's what they could have called the movie. They didn't.
Oh, is that as catchy as Lords of Chaos, though?
No.
No, definitely not. Now, my question is Tommy, being someone who is not as familiar with Mayhem and watching the movie, what did you think about it?
It was a very fucked up movie. I've heard of Mayhem, of course. I wasn't that familiar with the story, so going through and seeing all the murder and suicide, it caught me off guard. It's traumatizing. It's fucked up. There was some fucked up individuals.
Yep.
I can't agree with pretty much everyone.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
no,
you know-
that's totally understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I understand doing what you want to do. You're a human. Do what you want to do.
I mean, not stab
Within
people.
reason.
Within reason, I agree. So that's
like-
definitely some of the trouble I had with this movie.
After
Like, it
this
was-
movie, I when I left, I got in my car and just sat in silence for a good 10 minutes. I was just like, damn.
I thought about it. I'm still thinking about it because it was really fucked up.
Oddly enough, it makes me want to watch it again
You know, the
because I
scene
can't
that
stop
really
thinking
got
about
me
it.
is when Euronymous was trying to talk to Dead, and Dead was just laying there wide open, just staring, not responding at all.
Yep.
There's something wrong there.
Right.
Something's going on.
Until
you
they
know?
were like, hey, a
holding
cat,
a gun
and
to
then he
his
went to
head
the woods
and
and then
pull
stripped naked.
the fucking trigger.
Well, I mean,
Fucked up.
Dude had a cat hanging in his fucking room. Strung up. I didn't like cats.
his audition tape had a crucified rat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that right then should tell
And he,
you.
and he huffed dead crows before the show, so I mean,
I try to put myself in the position of what would I do if I met somebody like that. I'm probably not going to create a band with them.
But, dude, if
Could be
they-
a great vocalist.
unless
just not my
that's
cup of tea,
unless
man.
that's the point of creating the band. Is you-
Euronymous seemed to have a habit of him not being a very extreme person at all, but surrounding himself with extreme people to make himself feel more extreme.
Right.
Guys
and then kind of
Var, guys
Yeah.
like Dead, guys like what's his nuts? Faust.
He wanted to be the eye in the center of all the crazy.
Right. He wanted to be
eyes-
the-
Right, he wanted to be the attention,
ringleader.
and so he figured he'd just feed off of everybody else and kind of take what they were doing and put it into words and then say this is what should happen, when in reality he was all talk,
For the most part, yeah.
for the most part.
For the most part. There were some inaccuracies, though, I looked up, because, of course, Hollywood, like I said,
Gotta put their spin.
Put their spin on there. Now, in order to make Euronymous a more likable protagonist, I guess you'd call him, he's a narrator, focal character, they gave him a love interest that didn't exist.
She was everyone's love interest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they passed her around like a fucking joint, man.
And I guess she was supposed to be just kind of a random person that kind of symbolized all the fucking women. I guess he and Varg shared different chicks and shit. But yeah, there was no romance. There was no love story there. She was made up. The pictures she took in this movie, those were Varg taking those pictures of Euronymous, the sword and the corpse paint.
And he didn't fucking cut his hair
Nope.
to try and turn over some new goddamn leaf. That was the coroner after he passed away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like he's like, I'm renouncing my metalism and I'm cutting my hair. He's not fucking Lars Ulrich, metal is dead.
Yeah, and how Varg and Euronymous met was not entirely accurate either. But to be fair, as soon as we watch the movie as soon as the first bits of text that come on. This movie is based on truth and lies.
As soon as I saw the kid with the scar on his chin in that
Yep.
lobby, I was like, dude, of course, it's Varg at 100%.
Really pronounced that scar. I think a little too much.
Yeah.
It's not as pronounced on Varg.
It's Hollywood.
But it is Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
So you got to make some character likable, even though no one was really that likable in this. But still, you wanted to keep following the story. I think even people that aren't familiar with Mayhem might actually enjoy this because it's one of those deep dives into a subculture.
Yeah.
Now, I recommend more documentaries than a biopic like this. I think this is good, but it's an interesting watch.
Yeah, there's actual real documentaries with members of Mayhem and all the people in the black metal scene, such as When the Light Takes Us.
Yep.
That's an amazing documentary about but that's factual versus an entertainment-based movie such as The Lords of Chaos.
But it was entertaining.
100%.
I was entertained.
Definitely, and it had me thinking about it for days after.
I still think about it. Yep.
There's images that were burned in my mind.
Yes.
And it's funny to think about. I'll say this. For two guys that considered themselves so hardcore and extreme in Euronymous and Varg. Varg's mommy paid for all the Burzum albums,
Yep.
and Euronymous' daddy paid the rent at his evil little club hangout. So,
Right.
so it's just kind of funny, man. Yeah, we're evil hard. I can just see fucking Varg going, yeah, Mom, I'm gonna make some evil fucking shit today.
That's nice, dear.
You mind if I get some euros? I gotta pay the guys down at the studio. Although I don't know what he was paying for because all Burzum albums sound like someone wrapped a wet towel around everything.
All right, now scream down this hallway.
I have a hallway filled with cottage cheese and dampening blankets.
And old Burzum albums.
All in all, I really enjoyed the movie as a fan of the band and as a fan of just a metalhead, having another movie about metal. There's not too many of them that are in the mainstream like this.
Definitely a movie worth watching.
Not really.
Yeah.
Vice kind of pushed this one, promoted it. I'm going to say, if I had to give this movie a rating, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. For the entertainment value, once again, it wasn't necessarily 100% factual, but for a band that I really, really like, to do a Hollywood movie on it and to have that good of a budget to pull it off that way, I really enjoyed it. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
All right. I'm going to give it 3.5. I liked a lot of the cinematography was good. It was well shot. Parts of it were well acted. I thought the two leads were kind of the dullest part. The other actors around I thought were even better, especially the guy that played Faust. I thought he did a really good job too. And like I said, Val Kilmer's son nailed it as dead. I thought he was really good. Some of the inaccuracies, but that was also based in the book, which that had inaccuracies too. I liked it. I think a lot of it just went for shock value over some substance, but 3.5. I think it's all in all a good movie, and I'd definitely watch it again.
I would give this one a 3.5 as well. Thought it was good. Kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Wondered what was going to happen next. Visuals were great. All the shots were really good. A lot of stabbing, a lot of gore, a lot of violence. It was good.
Some burgers, some beers, some laughs.
20% more stabs than any other black metal movie.
We guarantee it, or your fucking money back.
Or we'll stab you
Twice.
in the brain.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah! Somebody come with me, baby!
Look, it stuck with me. It stuck with me. There's
that whole story is fascinating.
Like Tommy said, the story was good, and albeit there were some inaccuracies, the day after we watched it, I went and looked everything up. I was like, I gotta know, what's missing,
right?
And what's not here.
Because it's such a crazy story,
and it's missing a little bit, and some of that shit's just bullshit. But at the same time, that movie really stuck with me. It's in my head. I want to watch it again just to see it again. So, yeah, I'm giving it 4 out of 5.
There are scenes I'll never forget. That's for damn
yeah,
sure.
dude, for real. The scene where you jumped.
Yeah, I didn't think they would do it.
Where they zoomed over his face. No, it was afterwards.
Oh,
when they zoomed over his face when he was looking down at his
and the tongue comes out.
And the tongue and his eyes came open, and you were like, ah!
I was like, dude, why'd you do that?
And I laughed. So
the thing
that laugh got an extra half point.
When he blew his brains out, I thought they would cut away. I really did. I thought they were going to cut away to the outside of the house, maybe some birds fluttering off.
Well,
of course.
I didn't know if
him slicing his arms open is what did it for me.
I didn't know if they'd cut away,
crazy.
but they gave it just a full-on shot.
Yeah.
It was that.
It was a still Stanley Kubrick shot. And blow your brains out. Okay, we'll widen out.
All in all, I dug it. I'd watch it again.
Yeah. So, with that being said, Once again, this is our very first movie review via Screaming Toilet, so we thank you for sending me this movie. I've been wanting to get my hands on a copy of this movie since before it even fucking came out. So kudos to Clint and the boys. And as all, we sometimes kick ass. You always kick ass. If you liked what you saw here, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.
Peace.
Peace.